Hey folks, this is Matt once again with another review, this time of No Escape. And this was another viewer requested review by ZeroCool389, also known as John. Really good guy here. Very solid guy, wonderful guy on here. So this is a review for John, and No Escape is one of those films he said he was going to review sometime. I don't think he's reviewed it yet, at least by the time I've filmed this. Produced by Dillon, it's directed by Martin Campbell, and actually the next film after this he would do is GoldenEye. Then The Mask of Zorro, and he did Casino Royale. I think he also did Edge of Darkness with Mel Gibson. He did Green Lantern, that film that flopped. It's getting the sequel. Yeah. There's a lot of films that we don't get Cobra 2 or Golden Child 2 or, you know, but we don't get Green Lantern 2. But anyway, there's No Escape. And, like I said, directed by Martin Campbell, who went on to direct all those films. Has a pretty good cast. You got Ray Liotta starring in it. You got Lance Henriksen. You got Ernie Hudson. You got Kevin Dillon. You got Kevin J. O'Connor, who would be Brendan Fraser's, in the beginning, sort of his sidekick, but then he turned coats and works for the bad guy and the Mummy. He was also the funny sidekick in Deep Rising, and he was a magician in Lord of Illusions. You've seen Kevin J. O'Connor in a few films. And the film, watching it again, I gotta be honest, this film, I think it's just a decent time waster. I think love for the film has kind of dwindled. It's a decent time waster. I don't think it's a bad film. I just do think No Escape is a decent time waster. I mean, it takes place in the future, as it says there, year 2022. In the prison, the future escape is impossible. Survival isn't much easier. No walls, no guards, no escape. And the future prison is kind of dealt with corporations. And Ray Liotta, he's solid in the film. He's one of the good points in the film. He's a Marine who went up and killed his commanding officer. Later on, you find out that commanding officer has sent him on a mission, which he had a bad feeling about, but he followed orders, and they killed like hundreds of women and children. And they covered it up and said, well, we needed a big body count to help with the war. That was an easy couple hundred kill. Just do your job. So he went up and killed his commanding officer and tried to get the truth out. No one believed him. So he's sent to prison. He's a type of character who doesn't like being told what to do. So like, you have the warden, and Ray Liotta says a good line, don't ever turn your back on me again. You know? And like he's in prison, you have this guy hoarding food, and the warden wants Ray Liotta to shock him. He's not going to do it, but then the guy is about to be killed by the warden, so he picks it up, but then immediately very fast gets the warden, holds him up, and then just to prove that he could do it, just slams the gun right back into the guards, which then they beat him up and they send him to this island. You have these two groups. You have the outsiders, who are the bad guys, sort of like cannibalistic, some type of bad guys, led by Stuart Wilson. He's a solid part of the film too, Stuart Wilson. Very fun bad guy, because he's not cheesy. He's actually pretty funny, sort of matter-of-fact in his dialogue. Well, I got rid of the heads of state simply because I wanted to be in charge. Like, you know, he has that matter-of-fact with the dialogue, and very fun bad guy, actually. Very entertaining bad guy. I wish Stuart Wilson did this, actually, in Ninja Turtles 3. That would have been awesome. Because he does a much better job here than Ninja Turtles 3. Stuart Wilson's a fun bad guy in this film. And that's Ray Liotta, when he gets on the island, he first meets up with that tribe, caught. Starting to have a fight with this guy, ends it very quickly. Ray Liotta just throws this little spear right into the guy. And Stuart Wilson impressed, like, wow, not as long as I thought it'd be, but extraordinary. I could use a good man like you. But then, once again, just like with Warren, he quickly steals the big weapon the bad guy has. This weapon here that Ray Liotta is holding. And it holds him off guard and makes a line for it. Fun scene, you know, he kills a few people. Barely avoids this big trap with these spikes on the tree, and which actually falls back and kills one of the bad guys. And he gets to like this cliff and gets shot with a dart, and he falls off. And he's rescued by the Insiders. There's a group of more peaceful guys led by Lance Henriksen. You got Ernie Hudson there. You got a young kid, Kevin Dillon's character. Kevin J. O'Connor's character, who's always like, you know, when I die, how about I get your shoes? Or, you know, I'm trying to make a deal. And this is kind of when the film kind of slowed down for me. Because a good portion is just Ray Liotta sort of meeting all the people, meeting Lance Henriksen. Ernie Hudson, his character really is given nothing to do. I like Ernie Hudson, but he's really given nothing to do in this film, to be honest. Kevin Dillon is just like the young kid who follows Ray Liotta around, looks up to him. Like they have a little scene where this guy fell asleep twice at his post and they kick him out of the little compound that they have. Then you have like a funny scene with, again, Stuart Wilson, where this guy has like sort of blue tattoo, razor teeth, says, you know, maybe we should have a new leader. What about that guy that, you know, gave you a bath because he had pushed Stuart Wilson? And Stuart Wilson's like, that's not funny. Gets a sword, cuts his head off. Now that's funny. Stuart Wilson plays that off very well. And you have a little bit of action scene where they do a raid on the good camp, including like a guy gets a flaming arrow right in the mouth, and they're shooting flaming arrows, and you get a little bit of good fights. Ray Liotta actually saying Lance Henriksen has a decent fight with Stuart Wilson. But then the film slows down again, where it's how to plan to escape. Oh, how about we'll use this boat? Doesn't work. They think there may be a mole there. How about this engine? May need a distributor cap. Oh, the bad guys have it. He's on go. Kevin Dillon follows him. Ray Liotta says, don't follow me, but Kevin Dillon still keeps doing like a dumbass. He gets caught. Ray Liotta tries to save him, gets caught. They put in a pit. They have to fight. Kevin Dillon says, you gotta kill me. I'm not going to survive. He says, you gotta kill me. And Ray Liotta has to kill Kevin Dillon. And then he's about to be killed, but then there's a guy there, which I don't really buy. I know earlier before they said that Lance Henriksen said they had a man on there. But I guess that's their inside man over there, and he saves Ray Liotta and gets him to leave. Ray Liotta comes back and says they've got all their bad guys are together. They're going to come here. We're out, 6-1. You got to leave the village. You get a little bit talking between Lance and Ray Liotta saying, Lance asking, I'm dying. You got to get this info out. Ray Liotta doesn't want to do it. And then you get the story of what happened to him. Just a lot of too much talking. I mean, it's over 2 hours long. Well, no, it's not. I lied. It's an hour and 58 minutes long. So it gets it's too slow of a pace for me, in a way. You know, and the action scenes, especially the ending, is a letdown because basically the whole, granted, I don't know, just, Ray Liotta has gotten most of everybody, seemingly they raid the village is empty, and Ray Liotta says that line, you want it? Come and get it. He gets his gun out and shoots one time, and it blows up like the entire village, killing like 90% of the bad guys. And then he has a little fight with Stuart Wilson, which, okay, and then throws Stuart Wilson off, and he gets impaled. Then he finds out that the mole was this fat guy who was kind of the holy man of the group. He's able to catch him, where the coordinates of the chopper that's going to land, the warden's coming, and Ray Liotta and a few people steal the chopper, and he's going to get the word out. And then the movie ends, and you're kind of like, I understand maybe they had a little bit of low budget, but I see these PM entertainment movies that low budget and they have more action. It's a decent time waster for the cast. Stuart Wilson plays a fun bad guy. Ray Liotta does a good job in the lead. Yeah, a little bit of decent action in the beginning. A little bit basically when Ray Liotta is escaping. A little bit of decent action when the raid on the village. But for an action movie, which this is a sci-fi action film, I think it kind of fails as an action movie. I mean, it's a decent time waster to see the cast. Like, Stuart Wilson is a fun bad guy. Ray Liotta is great. Kevin Dillon, Ernie Hudson, Lance Henriksen, they all do a good job acting-wise. Has some decent photography. And then Ray Liotta really sells as the action hero. Stuart Wilson is a fun bad guy, but at the same time, the action scenes really aren't much to run home about. Granted, practical stuff, practical explosion at the end with just one missile. This like thermal nuke or whatever the hell he has. That kind of, I remember the first time I saw this, I'm like, what? That's it? You think it's going to be a big battle at the end? Poof, boom! Game over. What? What, do you use a cheat code and pew? I know he died at the beginning, but it's like, what? I know he has a little fight with Stuart Wilson, which to me didn't really add much to anything. It wasn't bad, but it was, oh, man. This is, wow. So, I mean, again, it's a decent time waster, but it's a little too long. It's a little too talky at times. The action scenes, I don't think there's enough action, and definitely not enough memorable action. I think that's his main fault. So, again, I'm fine owning this because it's not a bad film. Again, the cast, good solid lead in Ray Liotta, good solid villain in Stuart Wilson, some nice photography of the island, teeny bits of action that's good stuff, but at the end of the day, it felt too long, felt too slow at times, and for an action film, it doesn't really deliver the goods, especially from, quote, the makers of Aliens and Terminator. They should not have put that on there. Oh, you want a more... Like this... Oh, the action moves are roller coaster speed. No, it doesn't. It's not roller coaster speed. The action scenes just weren't really up to par, I think. Because there wasn't a lot of them. It kind of got a little bit slow. But that's my opinion. I I liked it okay. But just okay. It's a decent time waster. But definitely needed, I think, a faster pace. And maybe some more action. Especially at the end. That's my opinion, though. But I don't hate the film, but it's a decent time waster. But that's No Escape. So either way, thanks for watching. And stay tuned for another viewer requested review. Later.